How's everybody doing? Ryjack back. Another video. I'm here today to recap Man City's abrupt exit from the Champions League. Yeah, they played yesterday. Did my live watch along, of course. Had a good time. Appreciate everybody stopping through. I'm going to do more of those, of course, going forward as much as I can. But yesterday was crap. So 3-1 final. Wasn't even that close, to be honest. Unfortunate. 6-3 aggregate. Was always going to be a tough task, Not a whole lot of confidence from myself, from the fan base, from what I've seen on Twitter going into the game. And then Pep has that, we have 1% chance, and I lied to you type comment. And, kind of, not going to lie, kind of fired me up a little bit. It made me really excited for the game. And then we see the lineup, and it's Bernardo, and it's Gundogan, and I'm thinking, ooh, I don't know about that. So yeah, it clearly didn't work. Was weird. We kind of ran a 4-4-2, which I guess we've done that a little bit out of possession, but seeing Savinho at right striker in the 4-4-2, not something I kind of was thinking would happen. And then you see the midfield of Gundo and Nico and Bernardo is like a left mid. I can't remember the last time I saw Bernardo in that position, maybe ever. So was a bit strange in my opinion for me. John Stones comes off injured basically right away. Mbappe's threw on a nice lobbed over the top ball, scores within 5 minutes, and basically the game is over from there. The tie is we're 2 goals down. We're at the Bernabeu. Confidence is at a 0. So I'll bring up the lineup here just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. This is the lineup it looks like we ran for most of the game in this 4-4-2. Stones, like I said, came off injured, and Mbappe gets the hat trick to put us away, and really just he took control of the game, dominated the game. No Holland, of course, injured. Maybe was going to come on if the game was close in the 70th minute, something like that. Maybe the same for KDB, but game was over basically instantly. Really disappointing to see heads drop, to see as fans, we're allowed to say, game's done. One goal in 5 minutes at the Bernabeu, and that's our belief. But you can't have that belief if you're on the field, you're on the pitch playing for the team. I mean, to me, watching it, it looks like they had no belief whatsoever that it was happening, and it was possible that they could come back from that early deficit, which is disappointing because this is the 4-time reigning Premier League champions. Yes, the squad is diminished. We don't have Rodri. Holland wasn't playing. We have injuries all across the board on the team. The midfield is not as good as it used to be. I know all of that, but for me, I want to see the passion, the fight, and it kind of sputtered. It was poor from basically everyone on the pitch. Nico gets a goal late. Didn't really matter. Ederson out of position, in my opinion, on the first goal. Not a whole lot he can do on the others. Kusanov was all right, I guess, as a bright spot. Played right back. Kind of. Vinicius didn't have a great game himself, so Kusanov did all right, but he was in a weird position. He's not a right back, and he was playing right wing a couple of the times, and he just didn't look comfortable up there. And as to be expected, that's not what he does. So I don't know. It was a weird game. Not my favorite type of game to watch. Devastated that we're out of the Champions League, of course. But it's brutal, man. It's the really sad part in my mind is Stones getting injured, and it's just a recurring theme. We play players too often. We have too many games in the calendar. Stones is his 3rd game in 9 days or 8 days or so, and his body just can't do it. He stretched his leg for a pass, and it's basically a non-contact injury, and he's out. Who knows how long? Probably a long time. That's just how these injuries are. For Stones, Gundogan just doesn't have it anymore. Unfortunate. I'm not sure why we went with that with him starting. I mean, I understand Kovacic isn't way better, but he is better in that position, in my opinion. No KDB, doesn't have the legs to give it the whole game anymore. Maybe we were hoping to get him on 70th minute if the game's still close, as seen by some Pep comments that he wanted to keep it close for the first half at least, and then maybe bring the heavy hitters on, but we just never got the chance to do that. Ake came on. I thought he did all right. McAtee actually had a pretty good game in my mind. Came on 77 minute. He only played 15 minutes or so, but was pretty good. Kovacic again. It is what it is. I'll pull up the stats here just so you can kind of even further see how poor it was. XG is pretty close, but in my mind, we really had very limited chances. I mean, you can see here 4 shots in the entire 90 minutes, 1 big chance, which was our goal. We made a lot of passes, but again, accurate passes does not necessarily doesn't correlate to success on the field. You can have 95% accurate passes, but if you just pass side to side all game, you're not really creating much, and that was our huge problem. We created basically nothing. XG from open play, look at that, 0.25 to their 1.72. I mean, we were played off the park. Madrid were the better team without a doubt. They advance, we go home. Maybe in the long run, that's good for us going forward, that we can focus on securing top 5, securing, going farther in the FA Cup, making sure we're in Champions League next season. Maybe that's what we need and what we can focus on, because, Sunday, Liverpool. Wednesday of next week, we've got Tottenham. Following that, we got the FA Cup, and then it's Forest, and then it's Brighton. It's tough fixtures still. So we get the win against Newcastle. We're out of the Champions League now. Pretty embarrassingly against Madrid. So it is what it is, guys. I don't want to sound too upset. I was upset while watching the game, I will say. And, people who were here in the chat were pretty dismayed, pretty disappointed with the overall performance. And I guess attitude, I would say, was low. And just the vibes were not good. The vibes were poor in my mind the whole time. So it is what it is. I've had a day or so to reflect. We can focus on getting Champions League for next season, giving that competition a go, and seeing what we can do in the transfer market this summer. Bombshell report came out today, kind of confirmed things that we have talked about on this channel and people talk about on Twitter a lot. There are many players who might be needing to leave here shortly, and I don't think the board and Pep and Hugo Viana are gonna, I guess they're not going to protect the old guard anymore, is what it seems like to me. Many guys were linked with the exit door today. Ederson, John Stones, Nathan Ake, Manu Kanji, up for possibly out the door. Probably John Stones in my mind. KDB, Gundogan, Kovacic, Bernardo, Nunez, McAtee. All these guys could leave. And as far as forwards, you've got Grealish, who could be out the door. And most likely that's it. I personally could see Doku leaving as well. He hasn't really had a great start to his career. Barely plays. He's always injured. So could be someone I see maybe, out of nowhere asks to leave just for a fresh start. But again, there's a list of 10, 11 players or so that seems like they're on the table to leave. I don't think all of them will leave this summer. That'll be tough to replace, 9, 10 players. But they're all on the list. They're all available to be purchased by other teams or leave for free. I mean, it's a lot that can happen between now and the summer. So hopefully going forward, we lock down competing for the FA Cup. We can make a nice run, see what we can do, and then see what happens in the league. Hopefully we get through this, February, get back to March, and we are competing in a better manner, more consistently. The new signings are able to get some more minutes, Kusanov especially, Marmouche, and then, get Haaland back to health, get our center backs back to health, and see what we can do from there. Because this season's been probably our worst season in the Pep era for sure, and probably since we've been purchased by Sheikh, to be honest. I mean, it's been really, really poor, guys. Really poor, tough to watch, not very exciting, entertaining, not a lot of wins. And, we're out of the Champions League before the round of 16, which is the first time in, I think, 12 years. So, pretty disappointing. Pretty disappointing, of course. I'd like to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments who we should be looking at to replace some of these guys. Who should we be looking to sell? leave a like on the video, of course, and subscribe. We are very close to 50 subs, which is my goal, of course. So any help towards that, always appreciated. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to look again at the transfer rumors and see, what we can think of, what we can figure out, and who we need to look at, who needs to go, who needs to come in, so we can get back to where City belong, top of the table, competing for all the trophies. Anyway, appreciate it. I will see you guys tomorrow.